Good afternoon, everybody. This is A&P, and this is Mike Maggs with our June 3rd sports update. I'm joined by my friend Frank Coconati.
What's going on, Mike?
Not too much, buddy.
How was the weekend for you?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Good, very interesting sports stuff. One of the topics I wanted to get to is the basketball game.
Right.
Every expert in the world predicted that Miami would win in 6.
Right.
And they took a beat down from Indiana.
Right.
And Hibbert had a great game. George had a great game. And what's going on with Miami right now, it's not the big three anymore. It seems like it's the big one, LeBron.
Yeah, but that, I agree. I mean, but doesn't that take away from guys like Bosh and...
It does, but they're not getting the touches because they're not scoring. Bosh is playing out of his position. He's a number 4,
right.
And they got him everywhere else. He's not in the low post where he's great. He's a good shooter, but he's not getting the touches. And when he does, he's not making the shots. So LeBron is not doing anything wrong when your guys aren't playing up to their capabilities.
Right.
Wade is not getting the touches. In fact, he touched on it in the post game conference. He
Who
said,
did
Dwayne Wade.
Oh, Dwayne Wade.
He says we got to get more of a team orientated here.
Well, I remember when the Bulls won that one game. I mean, I know they were playing rough, but when they took those guys out of the game, Wade and Bosh and them, and it was just up to LeBron, the Bulls beat them.
Right.
But they couldn't keep up that pace because then they started spreading it out, the Heat. And that's what I'm noticing in the Indiana series.
Right.
You're taking those guys out, and it's becoming a LeBron show, and it's not...
It might not be enough against this team.
Right.
They have to get those guys. If one of the two of them plays well, Bosh or Wade, Miami should close this series out tonight.
Right.
I don't believe he can do it alone because they got a lot of weapons on the other side. George Hibbert's playing good. West is playing good. But I don't know if it would be enough for LeBron to do it. Now, typically, LeBron...
You mean you're saying that Indiana could beat him? Huh?
They could beat him.
Yeah. If he doesn't get these guys involved, or what I've noticed, when Wade said that, does that show some problems going on with the team? Yeah.
I don't really think so. I think that they won't make a big deal about it. I think that's just immediate after-game frustration. A lot of guys say things right afterwards. These guys are competitors. And within 45 minutes after the game, they shower up, they're on the podium, and they're getting 88 microphones shoved in their face, and they're still. These guys, they're pumped. They're pumped. They're competitors, and I think it's just a little frustration. LeBron knows that he's given them. LeBron's a great passer of the ball.
Right.
He's one of the best passers I've ever seen for a guy that has all the
superstar.
For a superstar scorer.
Right.
I mean, you got guys like Nash and Jason Kidd that could pass it around. John Stockton in the old days, he was one of the greatest assist leaders.
And that was something that they criticized LeBron for
passing too much, not taking the last shot. He did not have the confidence then. Now he does to make that Michael Jordan type last shot. So he's. Now, tonight's game, I don't know.
They're in Miami.
They're in Miami. It's going to be
tough. What's the spread?
7 points.
7 points.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on that subject, real quick, let's get this in. A guy, Mike Manheim, was on our newspaper blog, and he says, "What's your opinion? What do you think is going to happen? Are they going to win by 7, Miami?"
My opinion is that.
That's that we're bookies.
No, I know that. No, this is just free advice.
Free advice.
This is office pool stuff.
You get what you pay for.
Right. What I would say is this: if Miami does win the game, they're going to cover the spread.
Yeah.
I do believe that. You're not going to see a 90, 86 game. Right. I don't believe that. If Miami doesn't win the game win the game outright, I think Indiana will beat them. I think that's in a close game. In a close game, they won't get blown. Indiana will win. But if I had to make a pick, traditionally they do not lose. LeBron goes wild. I think he averages 34 points in Game 7s.
Right.
When it's close out.
Because he doesn't want to.
He's going to have the desire. If he has to carry that whole team on his back, and he's done that before, and I believe that Miami.
Because yourself, if they lose this, Miami, he's got to field all the questions about Michael Jordan, you're not as good as Michael Jordan. You're not. Michael Jordan won 6 championships.
That's not even the beginning of it, because they, remember they came out when they first got together, not 1, not 2, not 3, 5, 6, 7 championships. They had that big press conference 6 months before the season started.
Right.
And they went to the finals and lost.
Right.
Now they finally got the monkey off their back last year, and if they lose this here, this is going to make a decision for LeBron when he becomes a free agent that he might, because if Wade's knee is bad, he's coming to the end of his career. And Bosh,
and actually the experts did say that about Dwayne Wade. He
right.
may have a year or 2 left.
Right, and LeBron, if he wants to get compared to Jordan, he's got to have at least 3, possibly 4 rings.
Right.
Then he'll be in, because you're judged by championships. He's the greatest player. Well, he's not better than Jordan.
Yeah.
In my eyes. But it's 1 and 1A at the racetrack. I mean, he's right there. If he wins 4 or 5 championships, 4 championships, I would say, you know what, he belongs in the conversation with Jordan.
Exactly right. Exactly. But he is a superhuman.
Oh, he's a...
Now, this last game, this Indiana beat them in Indiana Saturday night, right? It surprised you, didn't it? I mean, it surprised me. When I heard the score, I didn't watch the game.
Well, it wasn't...
The Hawks were on at the same time.
Yeah, I think
or
they did.
Near it, or whatever it was. I didn't watch it, but I was stunned. I said, all right, because I don't like Miami.
I don't either. That's why when I get
like you said, they bought that team.
They bought the team, and they keep. I don't want any Jordan comparisons. It's like to me, Babe Ruth's still the greatest player of all time. Okay, and his record of home runs has been broken by 2 guys, Barry Bonds and Hank Aaron. But Babe Ruth's still the best.
Right.
Okay.
You're right. I mean, that's just some.
Did it without steroids.
We're from that generation.
Right.
We were both brought up. Babe Ruth was the Bambino, the home run king. Joe DiMaggio was the best hitter in baseball.
Best hitter in baseball.
Right.
But like I said, I would like to see Indiana beat them, but you can't put past what Miami's going to do tonight. If Wade has any kind of game, he hasn't scored over 20 points in any of the last 10 games, I believe.
Right.
If he gets his 20, 22, 23 points,
Miami swats.
They beat him up.
Yeah.
They beat him up.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Indiana showed they're a good team.
Oh, yeah. They got hurt. Everybody picked this to go. Some said it would be a sweep. Somebody experts, them guys, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, they said, 5 games, maybe 6. Here it's going to 7. And in Game 7, everybody's equally as
I heard that. I watched them, too, and they said Miami will wipe them up.
Yeah.
Miami will wipe them up.
It didn't happen.
So, before we move on to the next subject, what do you think, then? You're saying that...
I'm saying, I believe that if Miami does win the game, if Miami's going into the finals, they'll cover the spread.
Right.
If Miami doesn't win outright, well, obviously Indiana beat them. So the spread doesn't even matter.
Right. Right.
Because I believe that if Miami wins, they're not going to win by 4 or 5. They're going to win by double digits.
Double digits.
If they don't win the game straight up, they're going to,
you're saying in a close game,
Indiana beats them.
And I just keep thinking they're in Miami, and I agree with you too.
Right.
Miami's got so much on their shoulders.
Right.
To win this game, to be, LeBron's legacy and what have you.
Exactly.
Let's move on to the Blackhawks. Are in Chicago.
We can't ask for any better.
Yeah.
We took care of business. Scored 4 goals on quick the other night.
So we're up 2 games to nothing.
2 games to none.
But nobody. I didn't think they'd be.
Well, they're playing against. Did you know that the teams that are in the Final Four to hockey are the last 4 Stanley Cup winners?
Wow. I didn't
Boston, Pittsburgh, Hawks, and L.A.
Yeah.
They have won the last 4. You can't ask for a better Final Four in hockey. You got the greatest the last 4 greatest teams.
Right.
Since
it was the Hawks. Then the next year was either Boston or
Boston, then L.A.
No, Boston, Pittsburgh, then L.A.
Then L.A. Right.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I didn't even realize that.
And the Hawks, I look at them.
Why do you think they're just that? They look like, I won't say crap against Detroit, but they didn't look as good as they look against L.A., and I'm thinking L.A. is a much better team than Detroit.
They are, but Detroit plays more physical. They took the Hawks. Hawks are way faster than L.A. If L.A. does not keep up with them, if they don't get a little physical and to slow down that speed, they're going to beat them there. They'll get 1 game out of there. If that happens, I don't think
Who are the Hawks speed guys, would you say?
Their whole front line, their starting line.
I'm watching the game. Guys like Seabrook.
Mm-hmm.
What's the guy's name? Becklin?
Becklin, yeah, I believe.
I can't even remember his name.
I can't remember. I got it.
But these are the guys that are surprising. I mean, they're the guys that look like they're really picking up the slack, because I don't see Kane doing much.
No, but he's a force out there because they know that if they leave him alone, sometimes if he doesn't get the attention, he's going to go all over you.
Right.
He's that type of player.
He's dancing on skates.
It's absolutely right. And like I said,
he's another
fast
skater.
Sharp. That's what I'm saying. They got so much speed, and if you go by Quick, what I was thinking to myself earlier, Quick has a bad game when he gives up 2 goals. Right. He gave up 4 goals. Now, coming back home to L.A., he's got to be the best player on it.
You brought up a great point.
He's got to be the best player on the ice.
Never has been pulled for a game.
Never.
This year. Now, do you think mentally that's going to hurt him? No. I mean, do you think it was a smart move by, who was that, the coach? Sutter. An ex-Blackhawk.
Right, ex-Blackhawk. No, I don't think it was a bad move because that would destroy a guy's confidence, okay? So you had a bad game. You're not going to have great games all the time. What that's going to do is that's going to put him in the mindset saying, hey, my coach still believes in me and I gave up 4 goals. I haven't done that forever.
But even though he pulled them?
But I'm saying it'll be a good thing for him.
Right, so he'll come back.
He'll come back,
stronger.
And he's got to be the best player on the ice. Quick does. If he is the best player on ice, if he gives up 1 goal, no goals,
then we're in trouble.
Then we're in trouble.
Yeah.
I expect this to be a home-and-home series, which I think that the Hawks will wind up winning it. I think the Hawks, they got a chance to win 1 there. If they do, the series will go 6.
Right.
If they go 2-2, I believe every home team will win. Hawks got home ice advantage. Still win it in 7.
Why do the Hawks? Because they had a better record?
Oh, yeah. Hawks have the best record in the league.
We're still in the interleague.
Right.
How do you think they're going to fare against the winner of the Boston-Pittsburgh?
Well,
even if we get that far, I'm just saying.
Right. Right now we're up 2-0, so we're already looking on to the next series. We've got to get past this one first.
Yeah, right.
This is last year's champs.
I mean,
they're going to play with a lot of
over, far from over. But I'm always looking at the other side, the other division.
Right.
With Pittsburgh, I always think they're tougher.
They're tough. They got the best player in the league, Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
He played. They got him out of this thing. They started getting physical with him. He's a physical guy. But he's getting fights on the ice with their biggest player. I forget his name. He got a push and shove match with him. He doesn't need to get ejected from a game or be off the ice. He cannot afford that. Just play your game, and they'll be fine. I think the Hawks, if they make it, I think that they'll. I think Pittsburgh will give them the most problems.
Yeah.
I think Boston is not as fast as the Hawks. Pittsburgh got a lot of speed.
Right.
So that'll be a great game. You might see high-scoring games there. And high-scoring games of hockey 3-2.
Right.
I mean, not 4-2.
If I had to use what happened in Detroit, what happened in L.A., I agree with you because Detroit ran out of gas, really. If they would have maintained that physical type of game plan, I think they would have beat the Hawks.
They would,
but they wore out. They just started getting beat up.
They got complacent, up 3-1.
Right.
You start hearing all the media talk about the fact that only 22% of the teams down 3-1 come back. They forgot who they were playing. This is the next Stanley Cup champion just a couple years ago.
Right.
And they had the best record in the league. You've got to pedal to the metal. You got your foot on their throat, step on it. Let's go.
Right.
And they didn't do that. They didn't do that.
And that's why I feel pretty confident with the Hawks right now.
I do too.
Because they really showed some toughness.
Mm-hmm.
And in these 2 games in L.A., they've shown a lot.
And that all goes back to that they were down 3-1 and they came back. They could have lost the game at home, and if they would have gotten down 2-1, they'd say, listen, we came back from 3-1.
Right.
Right. We could come back from this. We've done this. This is not uncharted territory for us. We'll get through this.
Right.
So I like the Hawks.
You like the Hawks?
How about
you say the Boston series?
I like Pitt.
Yeah.
No, I'm more of a fan there than I am going. Tonight they play.
But Pittsburgh's got some huge weapons. And I know they lost, but I mean they're
going to play tonight, and I believe that they'll come back tonight. Their coach is probably telling them right now, listen, don't play that rough, that roughhousing game.
Right.
Just go out and play our game. If we play our game, there's not a team in the league going to beat us.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So
I think they come back strong tonight.
Yeah, I agree with
I think they'll win tonight.
Well, then we'll discuss that, what happens on our next show.
Right.
Which is next Monday.
Correct.
What time is it on next Monday?
The show? Or?
Our show. The sports show. Next Monday at same time.
12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. I just wanted to touch a little bit on
it. It's put in the paper anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on. We're done with the hockey. Let's move on to golf. Your favorite sport. Is that what you wanted to talk about?
Yeah,
Your favorite sport.
Tiger Woods had a bad outing on Wednesday's round. He shot the highest 9-hole round of his what has he been in 13, 15 years in PGA?
Right.
Shot a 44 on the back nine. That's the highest he's ever shot. He had his worst tournament. Played a little bit better on Sunday, not much, but he was just, I never saw him make so many mistakes. 3-putting from 8 feet. That's not Tiger. So you know that even the best, you make a double bogey, even him, it gets in his mind, golf is such a mental game.
Yeah, right.
But Matt Kuchar won it. Great kid, always smiling.
Where's he from?
Kuchar, I don't know. Where did he go to school?
Yeah. Even where he's from. Where's he from?
I think he went to Georgia Tech or Georgia. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
Has he been in the circuit for a while?
Oh yeah, he's a 7, 8, 10 year guy.
Yeah.
He's like in his late 20s. He's been playing since he's 21. He's been around. You see it every major. Matt Kuchar's in there. He's finishing in the top 10.
Wow.
He makes the cuts. And like in the Masters, especially, he plays that course well. You'll see him. Always hunting around the lead there, couple back.
But Tiger will be back, right?
Yeah, I think that Tiger comes back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
I think that right
now.
What
do you think the reasons are? Just a bad.
Bad
course, bad game.
Well, that course there, he's won there 6 times.
That's what I mean. I don't understand it.
Yeah, and I don't understand it either. I don't know. It's like anything else. You have that day.
Right.
And here he hasn't had one all his career, so he's allowed to have that
right.
day.
But a lot of people thought, from his last couple of tournaments, I guess he's been winning.
He's won 4 tournaments already.
And they thought that he was on a roll again, but then they saw
this. This is nothing. You got to wait till next Monday when the next week starts the U.S. Open. This tournament this week, I don't even know who's going to even show up there because they're all gearing up. They're all flying out to Marion to play the U.S. Open, get their practice rounds in, and that's a course that U.S. Open courses don't set up great for Tiger,
right?
Because you got turtleback greens and everything it's like putting on this table. The ball just rolls and rolls and rolls. You could have a 4-footer, and you could put it could lip out, it could roll off the green, and if there's a side bunker there, it could roll into that.
At this course.
Any U.S. Open course. They trim everything down to nothing. They make the spin meter 13, which is incredibly fast, like putting on ice.
Right.
And if you don't have any confidence, to hit these putts strong enough to go in, figuring that, I don't want a 6-footer coming back for my par, you're going to be lost out there.
Right.
The fairways are sloped like this, so the ball, if you don't hit it, there's only a certain amount of flat area. You don't hit it, runs into the rough, and the rough is this high. U.S. Open rough is the highest rough.
Right.
Usually when guys hit it in the rough, they just chip it out into the fairway to try to get back on a 3 and try to hope they get up and down for their par.
So all the greens are bellied.
Yeah, they're all turtlebacks.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Like it's,
they're like this. Yeah, so everything rolls away.
Yeah.
They're sloped. Some of them are just sloped, but at this course, a lot of them are turtlebacks.
Yeah.
And that's
hard.
It's hard to hit a shot on it. You can hit a shot, you get spin on it, it rolls off the green.
Yeah.
And Tiger, because he's wild off the tee, these fairways are shorter. These fairways are, I think they're 30 yards wide instead of the standard 50 yards wide. And he's going to hit a lot of irons. He hits that stinger shot. He's got to keep the driver in the bag because he'll be all over the place. You'll see him hit a lot of irons in the beginning, and if he has success with it, he'll stay with it. If it's not working, he'll get to where I got to hit the driver because I got to catch up.
But he's good at every facet of the game, right?
Oh, he's not a weak point. In fact, the weakest point,
he's off great, right?
The weakest point of his game is his driver. That's the one that gets him in trouble, and he's long. That wasn't his problem early in his career, but he got wild of late.
Right.
But he's been better this year because he doesn't hit it a lot. He hits that metal 3. He'll use that. He hits that hybrid. I think it's a 2-iron. He makes that little stinger shot with it.
Right.
That he hits it about as high as the roof here, 8 feet, and it just goes forever. And he doesn't miss with that. And he hits that. Hits that shot 280 yards. He doesn't need to be 340.
Right.
Because he's so long with all the other clubs.
And what is the next tournament? Do you know offhand, or what's
this next tournament this week here?
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's coming up. I don't know. I had my notes and I forgot.
We'll have all the information.
Yeah, we'll have the information on Monday.
Yeah, Monday. You play golf, right?
Yeah.
What was your average, or what do they call it?
My handicap?
Yeah.
Well, I had a scholarship to Northern.
Really?
Yeah, for golf. And when I was playing there, I was between a 1 and a 3 handicap.
Wow.
Then.
So you were a good golfer?
Yeah, I could shoot par. I shot under par.
You still golf now?
Not as much. I used to play a lot, but not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
you know.
I don't find it, I mean, there's so many fans that are going to be listening.
Oh, sure.
They love golf.
Well, you know what? All sports players play golf. Not all golfers play. You don't see guys go and play pickup softball games.
You're right.
Or go
hockey players go play golf.
Hockey players golf. Baseball players, football players. Look at Tony Romo.
Yeah.
He wants to be. That's going to be his next career. He's going to try to.
Well, he should because he can't win no championship in day.
But he's not going to get $60 million playing golf either. So he may as well get banged up a little bit. Get your money and then go out there and have fun.
And I notice a lot of retirees, or who go on Facebook. Guys are golfing constantly.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else we should discuss this week, or we've probably touched on everything?
We touched about on everything. We'll be back Monday, June 10th.
Right.
Same time.
We'll review the week in review.
We'll review the week in review.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, a great show and nice talking to you.
Great talking to you.
All right. Take care.
Take care, my friend.